Guy Nation, what's poppin'? Crazy Dog coming at you on the Buckin' Crazy YouTube channel with my Ohio State Buckeyes, Northwestern Wildcats, Week 12 game preview as our still number 2 ranked 8-1 Ohio State Buckeyes travel to Wrigley Field to face off against the 4-5 Northwestern Wildcats. Of course, we all know what's coming up the next 2 weeks, so it's crucial for the Buckeyes to not get caught looking ahead to the Indiana Hoosiers next week at the Horseshoe, because aside from the game at the end of the season, next week is probably the biggest game overall on the schedule. Non rivalry, of course, right? But man, dude, playing this game at Wrigley, not sure how I feel about that, right? I'm sure, like, it'd be cool, playing a football game at a baseball stadium, especially one as historic as Wrigley Field. But you gotta wonder, why not play this game at Soldier Field? I actually was curious, and then I looked at the Bears' schedule, and oh yeah, the Bears play at home the very next day against the Packers. And I know that grounds crew over there at Soldier Field doesn't want their turf tore up even more than it probably already is. Because we already know Soldier Field's turf, not the greatest. It's been known to get tore up pretty good during the season. And yeah, not to mention, I don't think they'd want Ohio State fans just taking over that stadium. Because I think they would, for sure. Oh, the only other option they had was either maybe the soccer stadium. Although the Fire do play at Soldier, so that wouldn't have worked, obviously. But yeah, Northwestern has a soccer field on campus, but that thing is way too small. Like, they made changes to essentially make it Northwestern's home field. But yeah, that thing, bruh. I've seen larger crowds at high school games in Ohio. It's pretty much a high school stadium. So yeah, having this game at Wrigley, it'll be an interesting experience. Obviously, the grass surface kind of scares me because I remember hearing about it getting torn up the last time Northwestern played a game there. So that kind of scares me, but overall, I think we should be able to take care of business. Now, historically, you guys want to hear something that's messed up? Since 1972, okay, Ohio State has lost one game against Northwestern. It was all the way back in 2004. They lost 33-27. Ohio State had won 24 in a row heading into that game. And since then, they have won 10 in a row, including a couple Big Ten championship matchups as well. Had to do a little quick count, and yes, we have won 10 in a row since. Last time we met was 2022 in that ugly ass game in the bad weather in Evanston. Now, for those wondering what happened to Ryan Field, oh, they tore that ish down. Yeah, they're building a new one. That stadium was pretty much a high school stadium, so yeah, they're getting a much better version of Ryan Field in a few years. So until then, they're going to be playing a lot of different places. But yeah, this will be an interesting game, right? So really not much else to talk about. Now, looking at how Northwestern has done the last 5 games, they are 2-3 with wins over Maryland and Purdue. They're coming off a bye, so they're well rested. They should be ready to go. Same thing with Ohio State. Of course, we took care of business against Purdue, or as I call it, Purdue do, and we look to do the same thing to Northwestern. Right now, we're gonna jump right into my keys to a Buckeye dub because there's really nothing else to talk about. And it's simple. Number one, don't get caught looking ahead. It's that simple. Do I need to say more? You look at what we got coming up next week. Don't get caught looking ahead to Indiana. right? Because Northwestern can't get you if you let them. And I don't think Ryan Day will let these guys look ahead. He'll have them focused on this week. And then hopefully we dominate these guys and then we can pull the starters by like the fourth quarter, just like last week. And, we can get ready for Indiana. Now, of course, that leads into my second key: get in, dominate, and get the out. Talking about the starters, right? You get in there, you take care of business, you beat the crap out of these guys, and then when the lead is big enough, you can take out the starters to avoid serious injury, because that's the last thing we need heading into a big game, and get ready for next week. Simple as that. Number 3, play a clean game on both sides, right? Play a clean game on both sides. It's that simple. I don't need to get too deep into it, right? No penalties, no turnovers, take care of the ball, take care of each other, take care of your bodies, you know? And please, no full speed running into the ivy. There's a brick wall behind there. Don't want to run into that. It's going to be interesting to see how these guys play in the end zones, because I think the end zones are a little smaller than usual because of the dimensions. Like they're playing like pretty much like where the infield would be. Like from the what is it? They're going into right field. So essentially they'd be like lined up right field down to essentially like the one dugout, pretty much. That'll be interesting. And I believe I heard they're going to be going into the bullpens at halftime, because obviously the locker rooms are way too small. So I think they'll be going into the bullpens at halftime for their adjustments and stuff, like they usually do, except no locker rooms. That'd be weird, because the locker rooms are so damn small because it's a baseball stadium. Oh well. But yeah, just play a clean game on both sides. No penalties, no turnovers, and again, get through this game healthy. That simple. My players to watch on both sides. On offense, I went with the obvious choice, Cornell Tate. He's actually from Chicago, and he's going to, I think, have family there. Who would it be if he just went off in this game? I'm talking like over 100 yards receiving, couple of touchdowns. Be cool, right? Be awesome. I'd like to see him get in the end zone at least once. And then on defense, the whole freaking unit. Because for those who haven't heard, Ohio State has not allowed an offensive touchdown the last 2 games. The last time they allowed an offensive touchdown was against Nebraska in the fourth quarter. Since then, they've only allowed 1 touchdown, I think, in general, and that was a defensive touchdown against Penn State. Let's keep that trend going, right? How about we just don't allow any touchdowns again? At all. I'll settle for a field goal or 2, right? Give up field goals, but no touchdowns. No touchdowns allowed. No exceptions. Like at all. But yeah, the whole unit needs to show out this week, because last week I like what they did. Good rotations, Like it looks like they were doing a little experimentation too. They were testing things out. We'll see if they do that this week. And then as far as my prediction goes, 45-6 Buckeyes. And once again, no touchdowns allowed. They only allowed 2 field goals. We love it. So yeah, Buckeyes win 45-6. They go to 9-1, and they got that big time matchup at noon next week against Indiana. See how that goes. The game honestly should have been at least a 3:30 kickoff, but yeah, whatever. Get it over with. We'll see what happens in terms of recruiting for that game, because I saw the visit list right now and it's kind of small. But yeah, with that being said, that's all I got. Let me know what you guys think of this game. Give me your predictions and your thoughts on them playing at Wrigley. And should be a fun game tomorrow. Can't wait. So with that being said, I'm Crazy Dog coming at you on the Buck and Crazy YouTube channel. Let's go Buckeyes. OH. I'm out. Bye-bye. Yeah.